Welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode we do some measurements for both the cylinder and the crank, and I'd like you to tell me what you think about it. Okay, so we're going to do some measurements today, or over the next few days to be honest. Today we're just going to start by trying to clean it up. Now, we've used a lot of engine degreaser on it already, but there's a huge amount on here still, as you can see. So we're going to get out a razor blade, some more cleaning stuff, and just try to get it a bit cleaner to get going first of all. This is the end of a wire wheel, brass wire wheel. So we're going to just use this to try to go over some of the edge bits there and see if we can clean it up a bit better. Not quite sure how much of that I got, but I was trying to get the gasket off here. What I hadn't realised is it appears to be some sort of wooden gasket. It's a huge thing. I mean, look at how much is still there, so I don't know. Hopefully, well, actually I don't remember that being in a gasket set, so I need to have a look now at what I've just gone and wrecked, and make sure I can replace it. So this would be for the fuel pump, I think. That must be where the fuel pump goes. So anyway, yeah, bugger. Right, we'll keep going. Okay, so I've done more work cleaning it, and it's going to need another clean before it gets painted or anything, and this bit of the back still needs cleaning properly and taking off, and so I can get in and actually I can get a seal out here. But I wanted to start by seeing if we've got a flat head, or a flat here anyway. So I have here my 0.05 millimeter, so that's 0.02 thou in inches feeler gauge, which is my thinnest, and I've been just working along to see if it will go in when I have it on an angle. And that seems okay. Similarly, if I go across this way, it seems okay, because it won't go under. Okay, and then if I do it straight as well, so again, okay, so it's flat that way, that way, that way, and that way. I suppose I could check it along like this as well. But that all seems to me okay. So if that's all okay, then the question has to be, why did it leak? And I wonder if I've got the head gaskets still. Yeah, I do it over there. Right, hang on, let's have a look. So this is what we took off. And I mean, just to be honest, it's just so horrible. I can't tell if I just can't see if it had been completely wrecked anywhere. I have no idea. Anyway, we're going to assume I guess that we do have a flat head, unless someone can tell me I've measured it wrong and that's not an appropriately good enough way of going about it. Right, I'm going to try to take some readings of the cylinder. If you want to see how to do this properly, go and watch Rusty Beauties. Alan Yakov just does a fabulous job of talking you through how to do it. So, but from my part, we're going to do 9 measurements on each cylinder. We're going to do top, middle and bottom, and we're going to do it at 0 degrees, somewhere around here and somewhere around here, so 0, 60, 120, something like that. Okay, so this I hope you've got set up, and so we just squeeze it in. Okay, and I guess this is my 0 measurement. Right, I will time-lapse you through the rest of that. Right, I had to stop and start that again because it got adjusted very slightly. So the numbers are slightly smaller than when I originally started it, but the last thing I have to do is I need to get a measurement of this. (91.38 millimeters). So 91.38 millimeters minus 16 was the length of this, or plus 16. Now then, this is 0.01 millimeters, so that must be 0.16. So if we add onto that, we get 54. Okay, so that means that these measurements are 91.54 minus whatever number I have in here, I think. And we should be able to check that by having a look at what it looks like on a, what the actual bore size is of a piston. So we're going to transfer this onto a spreadsheet and have a look at this in more detail. Right, I've had a look. The standard bore apparently is 3.56 inches. If we come to millimeter working with 0.424. These are all just to remit point. So an oversized would be 0.04 inches. So that would be 3.6. Okay, so I decided to put it on a spreadsheet, and we'll start here. So for cylinder 1, 2, 3 and 4, these are the measurements that I took for top, medium, bottom and at 0, 60 and 120 degrees. So I plugged all of those in, and then from that I could calculate the out of round. So the out of round going along this row here is simply the largest number minus the smallest number in there. So you can see my out of round of 0.01. And so I applied that across all of them. And then I also did the taper. And so the taper is, again, works vertically as opposed to horizontally, but it is the largest minus the smallest within the column. And so I did that across all of those as well. Okay, so that gives me my out of round and my taper. Now I just then wanted to check the size of the cylinder. So this was the measurement I got of the tool I was using, and then this is how much smaller the cylinder was than that tool. Okay, so here we've got the 91.54 minus 0.81, and I've applied that across there. So within this quad here, you'll see we've got exactly the same out of rounds and exactly the same tapers. It's just that we've got the cylinder size at that point rather than the measurement I took. And then what I've done over here is I've just taken the maximum out of round for each one, and I've taken the maximum taper for each one, and I've got the minimum cylinder size for each one. So let's start with the cylinder size. So the standard cylinder size is 90.3 millimeters for a UK spec car. And then looking at Rimmer, it seems to go up with a plus 0.02, but I think that's in inches rather than mil. Oh, I suppose it could be mil. No, 0.02 would be too small.
and a plus 0.03 and a plus 0.04. So I've taken that to be in inches. So if we apply that in inches, then an oversized one would be 90.678. And as we can see, I've got 90.67, 90.8, 90.68. So I think I've got something that is been oversized by that amount. Okay, and then I've looked at what these numbers look like. Okay, and I don't know what is an acceptable out of round or taper, but Rusty Beauties says, Eleanor Rusty Beauty says that anything that's within 15 thousandths he's happy with. Okay, now in millimeters, 0.4 millimeters, which is the taper I've got, is 15,000 inches. Okay, 1,000, yeah. So I am happy on that basis with the cylinders that I have there. If you think I've got that wrong, please come back and tell me, and we'll review it.
Right, I'm sure it was looking a bit cleaner than this yesterday when I left it. That shows you how quickly surface rust comes back, I guess. But there we are. I'm just looking for my drill so I can just see how quickly that comes off again. And can't see it anywhere. Okay. So we've measured the cylinders. Next thing I want to do is I want to measure the pistons. So I've knotted some notes down about, this is what I've come out as the sizes of the pistons. And then the piston clearance, according to the manual, should be between 0.13mm and 0.039mm. So I'm going to bring out the pistons. These should be 1, 2, yeah, good, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to bring them out, I'm going to measure those, and we're going to see how big they are, so that we can see if we've got the appropriate clearance. That would give us a better idea, if they're in that sort of range, has this actually been bored out by 0.02 inches or not. Okay, so I have here piston number 1, which we can see hopefully on here that it shows number 1. And my understanding is you want to measure it at the base of the skirt, so that I'm taking to be down here. I have been playing around with this just to get it into what I think is the right position. Let's have a look at this. Can we get this in? So we can see we've got 90, and I think the bottom, we've then got the half mark at the bottom, so it's 95 plus 3.1, so that'd be 98.1. So that'd be 90.5, 90.81. The reason I say, right, so this only goes up to 0.5, you see, so it's either 90 point, oh piss, I don't know what it is. Okay, take 2 here. I have just calibrated this with a 75mm bit that came with the kit, and as we can see it's right on the 75. Tighter. Remeasure that, and I'm going to see like 90. So okay, yeah. Right, so it's definitely not going past this point. Okay, so we're going so that's 90.7. Okay. That's going through, so we're going to just take it down a bit smaller. This is 90.65. Okay, and it won't go through on that. So this is 90.67. Okay, it's a tight fit, so 90.67 looks about right. And same on piston number 2, again you can see it's a good tight fit there. Okay. And what this is number 3. So we're moved it out to 90.68 for this. So that one's just that tiny bit bigger. There we go. Okay, 90.68 again. Okay, so we're looking at 90.67 and 90.68 for the piston sizes. Okay, so what we're looking for is a clearance of 0.013 to 0.039 millimeters between what we've got in the cylinder and what we've got in the piston. So this is 0.01 here. Nothing there at all, so I guess that might call into question my measurements. Here again we've got nothing there, and then here that one to this number here where we're right in the middle of it. So I'm not sure how much that's telling me, and if I've maybe not got these quite as accurate as perhaps I should have done. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about it. Right, the last thing I want to look at in this video is my main journal for the crank. And so that, according to this, should be 54 to 54.013 mil. So I've got this set up at 54 exactly. And what I'm looking for, oh wow, that's hugely loose. Okay. So, and the regrind is 52.98. So let's adjust this to 50. So that's at 52.9. 8. Okay, and that point is too tight, so we're going to take it out a bit. Get on to 55 or something. Go to 53.5. Still way too tight. .54 exactly again. And way too loose. Okay, right, so let's come in between. So this is 53.75. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that is 53.80. Okay, so there we have on each of these, apart from this one here, we have a measurement of 53.75. This one is 53.74. So let's take a look at the these ones as well now. The crank pin, I guess that is. So let's. Now these should be around 44.450. Right, I've just done that again, and I'm coming out with it's 44 point naught, no, 44.2. Okay. Okay, so we are below, in fact, yes. So I was measuring it off by half a half mil, 0.5 of a mil, whatever, before. So I recalibrated, I measured again. I'm comfortable with that. So we're looking at, these are at 44.2, so they've been ground down a bit. Now I need to check what the minimum is on them, but I think that's probably okay. So, so I think we're okay. I'm going to stop this episode here, based on these measurements, and if anyone can give me some thoughts and advice. I want to clean up this engine over here a bit more. Back plate there. People say about what they think. I'm okay. Just hone cylinders, which very clearly do need doing. If you take a look at these, let's have a look. I said, can I just hone these out? They feel okay, but you can see the rust in there. Alright, so you can see the rust around the top, but they feel, I can't feel any grooves in here. So I'm wondering if I can just hone it. which would be great if I can. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to put this to the side whilst I hear what people have to say, and I'm going to take a look at the head next. So yeah.